Muzan's announcement from earlier that evening kept turning around in Yin's mind, distracting her to the extent where she barely resisted Gyoko summoning a various fish to attack her, jumping away from the needles that were shot from their mouths just in time, already knowing beforehand that the tips were poisoned substance that had paralyzed her instantly. She gritted her teeth as she landed, shaking her head to clear her mind and focus, really, on the current world that was at hand. Of course, fighting Gyokyo would have been easier if the man in question she was thinking about wasn't observing the entire thing. Muzan Kibutsuji, I know that my being here will most likely change many things in the Demon Slayer storyline, but him? And do this attend? I don't understand at all. Oh my god, I have to... Gyokyo laughed from his pot, and his body grew from his childlike hands that spread from his back, wiggling with action. To see a human dodge my attacks is quite the spectacle, is it not? Yin squirmed in disdain, never having had a fondness with the fifth upper moon, especially with what he had done to Tokido. Not speaking, are we? The last time we met, you had the audacity to proclaim that I look strange. But look at you, he continued. Sorry for the loudness. Seemed to be completely at ease, since he didn't deem her as a threat. You're probably shocked now that you realize how beautiful both me and my pots are. That's it, isn't it? Just how vain can he be? Well, the manga did mention that Muzan favored him since his art sold for quite a bit. But still, I didn't want him to beat me. Crouching down so that both hands touched the floor, her muscles tense, Yin waited until the very last second to move when the steam of needles, the fish blew again, were practically on her before launching to where Gyoko sat in his pot. Crashing to the floor in irritation when he nearly disappeared and reappeared in another pot, she cursed herself for falling for that trick. Well, it's not exactly a trick if you know how it's performed. With that, she picked up Gyokyo's pot and, well, hurled it into the opposite wall, watching as it shattered into pieces as it fell in a heap towards the floor. My pot! He screamed in alarm. The grotesque eyes that grew from his forehead in the place where his mouth should be had been wide in an imaginal position. How dare you! You bitch! I'm going to fucking kill you for ruining one of my masterpieces! Gyokyo. Muzan's voice ran out through the entire fortress. That both fighters immediately stiffened. Forgive me, Muzan-sama. Gyokyo bowed his head as he tried to quell the anger that rose within him, knowing that the murderous thoughts he struggled to hold down would no doubt only give him trouble since Muzan could hear those as well. I will not speak like that again. See to it that you don't. Yin shivered at Muzan's words, but she didn't mind them at all. Since they were the same, she wouldn't have to hear Gyoko battering her. Even her breathing. She ran towards the upper moon and attacked again and again, using the various of hits and kicks to try and get the upper hand against him while continuing to break his pots. Multiple veins popped in Gyokyo's forehead whenever he witnessed the act, becoming more hostile as in his attacks that made her sustain great damage but not enough to kill her. This fucking... He stopped his thoughts just in time when Muzan's glare pierced his back, lips twitching in... God, I can't speak. In irritation, Gyokyo then laughed darkly at the thought of his next technique he would use on her. Disappearing into his pot, only seconds passed before multiple pots popped out from a dark opening, something he greatly needed for what was about to come next. Get ready, human, he hummed eerily. Though it is a shame that even if I kill you, you won't die. Yin's stance faltered when more fish rose from the pots that Gyoko had summoned, almost overtaking the room even though it was so large, and tried not to let her panic show. She knew what this was, especially since she had seen it in the manga before. Grimacing in disgust when thinking about how these fish would consume her to her bones if they had the chance. They release poison if cut and can be absorbed through skin. So how do I defeat them? Gitaru's poison didn't work on me, so maybe this won't either? Gyoko laughed menacingly and triumphant, sensing the immediate change in her confidence. Are you finally understanding it now? No matter how much you struggle, human, you will always be subjected to the power of us demons. You can't tell I'm having great fun. Eyes narrowing at his progresses, Yin then said, You keep saying that over and over again, that you demons are so much more powerful than humans. But how is it that demon slayers are able to defeat you? How I, someone who hasn't even been trained, was able to defeat Gitaru and Daki, both who are upper moons. Tell me, Upper Moon 5. Seriously, tell me. Why is that? The two stared each other down with equal looks of resentment, only distracted by the chuckles that came from the very man who loathed the demon slayers and their course the most. Muzan laughed, the sound light-hearted, but striking fear in both Gyoko and Yin, especially the latter because she knew he never was one to make such a sound. My Yin. He used my name again. You never seem to learn, don't you? Shit. Gyoko, leave us. No. Yes, Muzan-sama. Gyoko immediately agreed, both him, his pots, and the fish disappearing. Muzan approaching Yin, appraising her body with his cat-like eyes seemed even, though it was covered in scratches and bruises. Muzan's smile widened as he knelt down to her level, cupping her chin and saying, You've never learned when to stop talking, have you? Every time you talk about those damn swordsmen, it wants me to rip out your tongue. Whoa there, Muzan. Anyways, it's time for Togawa Era Secrets. Yin isn't sure if she likes or doesn't like the way Muzan's changing because of her presence. Muzan hates it when someone other than himself talks down to Yin. And whenever Yin speaks about the demon slaying course, Muzan's anxiety spikes because it means her humanity isn't as excruciating as he'd like it to be, especially since it would only make it more difficult to transform her into a demon. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. And sorry that I didn't post yesterday. I really stopped playing The Sims so much. I probably will never. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all so much. Bye. Mwah.